Chunking information, as its name depicts, is grouping of small and separate pieces of information together. It helps us to remember and understand the information easily. There are 3 chunking techniques. They are grouping. Grouping is a technique of grouping things in a random order. It doesn't have any specific pattern. Finding patterns. In this technique, one needs to identify a specific pattern in the information. It is easier to remember the pattern rather than remembering information in separate units. Organizing. Organizing refers to grouping of information based on its meaning.
The process of grouping information so that the intended audience can easily understand it is known as chunking. Chunking makes it easier to grasp, process, retain, and retrieve the information as and when required. Effective chunking results in organized, logical, and consistent information, increases the audience's ability to understand the information, enables quick access to the required set of information, helps remember key points of the information.
Persuasion is an act of influencing or getting influenced by someone towards the idea, attitude, or action. Some of the methods of persuasion are reciprocation, social validation, authority, scarcity, liking, consistency.
Persuasion is the talent and gift for making others to see your viewpoint and accept the same as their own. Persuasion in the right sense is to have a shared understanding or agreement for a shared solution or mutually beneficial outcome.
To reason is to give explanation. It is a description of the facts. You can appeal to others through various types of reasoning such as logic, rhetoric, and proof. Let us understand this with the help of an example. The salesman here wants to sell a stain-removing product. The potential customer wants to know more about the product before he decides whether to buy it or not. In order to appeal to the customer, the salesman will have to explain what the product is, how it works, and in what way the customer will benefit from it.
If you are looking for something that will remove stubborn stains from paint enamel without causing any damage to the paint, then Clean Beam is the thing for you. Clean Beam has been scientifically proven to remove stains and clean paint enamels better than any other stain remover. Let us test Clean Beam on the stain on your car. See, the stain is reduced by over 70% in just one go. Clean Beam is the best stain remover available.
Here, the salesman first uses logic in introducing the product, and then displays practical proof of the stain-removing powers of the product. Finally, he re-establishes the use of the product in a rhetoric manner by declaring the product to be the best one available in the market. In this manner, he convinces the customer of the validity of his facts and makes him to seriously consider buying the product.
Keeping the information or message simple helps in understanding it better. Simple information can attract the attention of the listeners or readers. A simple principle known as KISS will help you understand the advantages of making information simple. The abbreviation of KISS is Keep It Short and Simple. KISS Principle. The goal of KISS Principle is to make the information or message simple by avoiding unnecessary complexity of ideas and words. This principle is useful in many disciplines. The main idea of this principle is to make the audience understand the sender's message easily. This principle consists of the following. Identify. Who is your audience? What is your objective? What do you want the audience to take away with them? Outline your presentation. Decide on your style. Create your presentation. Weed your presentation. Practice your presentation.
Follow the KISS principle. Keep it short and simple. The more simple things are presented, the better they are understood. The more complicated the message, the less complex it has to be presented. The simpler the message, the more effective it is. The more likelihood of its grabbing attention, the more easy it is to retain the interest.
Each one of us would have experienced conflict in one way or the other. It is very common to have conflicts when people of different attitudes, positions, experiences, skills, etc. meet. Resolving such conflicts is very important for the smooth running of any business. Though each of us has a different style of resolving conflicts, following the tips given below could help us solve the problems effectively. Remain calm. Let the other person talk. Honestly consider the other person's point of view. Always show respect. Acknowledge emotions. Ask a question. Listen to the other person carefully. Brainstorm solutions. Admit and take responsibility for the wrong deeds done by you. Try to visualize the problem.
Conflicts tend to have a greater impact on one's professional life. If they are left unresolved or are escalated, they can result in serious negative outcomes. Conflicts are unavoidable and hence need to be tackled efficiently to the advantage of the parties involved, keeping the larger picture in mind. Recognize the conflict to be a mutual problem. Resolve through discussion and negotiation. Take an assertive approach. Listen attentively. Respect and empathize with each other's viewpoint. Focus on the work issues and not on the person. Brainstorm all possible solutions. Arrive at a mutually acceptable solution.
Keeping the conflict resolving points in mind, take a close look at the conversation that ensues between the two men, Roy and Vivek, in scene 1.
Vivek, I would like to talk to you. Could you possibly spare half an hour and meet me in a conference room?
Sure, Roy. Even I need to talk to you. I'll join you in a few minutes.
Vivek, I have noticed that in our project meetings, we get very critical of each other's ideas.
Yes, I am afraid so. I am sorry to have caused any trouble, but you have to understand.
Keeping the conflict resolving points in mind, take a close look at the conversation that ensues between the two men, Roy and Vivek, in scene 2.
Vivek, why are you always attacking me and disagreeing with me at meetings?
I could say the same about you. Why are you always picking on me?
Vivek, why the hell do you always have to be such a pain in my neck?
What do you mean? You are the one who is always pushing me around.
Which of the two scenes is the appropriate way of resolving a conflicting issue? First or second? Yes, that's right. The first manner, scene A, is a more appropriate way of approaching conflicting issues in which both the people will find a common ground and a common issue to agree upon.
Personality development deals with the improvement of one's personality in all spheres of his/her life. be it with the personal life, professional life, or in any other environment. Personality development deals not only with the outward appearance, but also with the values, emotions, strengths, weaknesses, etc. of an individual. Tips for personality development. Be properly dressed. Be confident. Have adequate knowledge about current topics. Be precise. Be polite. Maintain proper eye contact. Have a positive attitude. Be empathetic.
Personality development means to enhance and groom one's outer as well as inner self to bring about a positive change in one's life. The process involves a series of changes to be practiced over time. Boosting one's confidence, improving language and communication skills, widening one's scope of knowledge, developing good hobbies and skills, honing one's manners and etiquettes, imbibing style and grace to improve the way one carries oneself, learning to be positive and peaceful. The effectiveness of our communication with clients, team, peers, management, customers, superiors, and subordinates help us increase our productivity at work and push through to the higher ranks. Shared here are a few tips to increase the effectiveness of your communication at work. Culture your voice. Speak at a moderate pace. Speak animatedly. Speak clearly. Use appropriate volume. Use the right words, language, and grammar. Maintain eye contact. Pay attention to gestures, body language, posture.
Now that we have come to the end of the module, let us recall the important points that we have discussed. A good communication plan will help us communicate better and in a clearer manner. The 7 C's of communication are complete, considerate, clear, concrete, courteous, correct, and concise. In 1930, Alan H. Monroe developed a technique called Monroe's motivated sequence. Questioning is an important tool to get maximum information about a topic or message. Effective questioning should be combined with effective listening to make the communication more effective. Chunking information, as its name depicts, is grouping of small and separate pieces of information together. It helps us to remember and to understand the information easily. Persuasion is an act of influencing or getting influenced by someone towards the idea, attitude, or action. The goal of KISS principle is to make the information or message simple by avoiding unnecessary complexity of ideas and words. It is very common to have conflicts when people of different attitudes, position, experiences, skills, etc. meet. Resolving conflicts is very important for smooth running of any business. Personality development deals with the improvement of one's personality in all spheres of life, in the personal life, professional life, or in any other environment. Personality development deals not only with the outward appearance, but also with the values, emotions, strengths, weaknesses, etc. of an individual.
With this, we come to the end of the topic on components of effective communication. Let us recall the key points of this topic. Effective communication requires prior knowledge of objectives, audience and channel of message, backed by a receptive mind for feedback. The 7 C's that aid in better construction of messages are clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, complete, and courteous. Monroe's motivated sequence aid in creating maximum impact during presentations. The sequence comprises of 5 steps, namely, grab attention, establish the need, satisfy the need, visualize the need, and take action. Asking the right questions in the right manner at the right time is important to gain knowledge and avoid misunderstandings. The different types of questions include open, closed, funnel, probing, leading, and rhetorical questions. Chunking is the process of grouping information for easier availability and understanding. Persuasion helps arrive at a shared understanding and solution. The 4 key elements of persuasion are credibility, common ground, evidence, and emotional connection. Practice to keep your messages short and simple for more effectiveness. Improperly handled conflicts can have negative consequences. They are to be resolved by focusing on the problem and working towards a mutually acceptable solution. Developing one's personality is to enhance and groom one's outer and inner self for the sake of positive changes and outcomes. This completes the module on communication skills.